I'ma fuck up my life. I'ma fuck up my life. We gon' party all night. She don't care if I die.
What's up, guys? C5 Administrator here. I am going to talk about Rogue Company again because the content needs to be made on this game, for me at least, because it usually does so well it's kind of hard for me to give up on it. But regardless, this is either upload a day after my last one, or this is on the same day. It's most likely on the same day. But I feel like I need to make up for lost time not covering this game enough. So that's what we're going to do. But today I have a very, very interesting topic regarding the Rogue Company developers and Dr.Disrespect. If you're active on Twitter, you probably know what I'm talking about. Or you probably just read the title and looked at the thumbnail and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Twitter, they took to Twitter, both accounts. Dr.Disrespect has just recently returned from his ban from Twitch. He has been streaming on YouTube, pulling in tons of views. Recently, in his return, he partnered up with Hi-Rez and First Watch to do a Rogue partner stream, a sponsored stream. Played Rogue Company on stream. He really enjoyed the game. He had a blast playing it, which that's a given. This game is amazing. It's fun. The maps are good. The visuals are great. There's not a lot of connection issues. The characters are, for the most part, pretty balanced. There's no super annoying gadgets in the game. Maybe Ronin's one shot claymore knife is a little questionable, but if somebody throws that thing at you and hits you, it's fair play. Like, that wasn't an easy throw. Most of the time, it's not an easy throw. But that is for a whole nother video. Today, we're talking about this very, very interesting topic. Now, for a long time, I've always believed, and I've said this before on my channel multiple times, I've always believed that developers have not given the people who play their games the most enough say in what happens within the game. Right? People, a lot of these developers underestimate the fact that a lot of gamers, people like me, people like you watching this video right now, and whoever other YouTubers that play a lot of games that you're thinking about right now that make content anywhere near what I make, kind of opinionated and almost video game education. These people sometimes they don't get enough say in what exactly happens with their favorite games. And I believe that this is so interesting, and I'm so on board with today's topic because Dr.Disrespect is essentially a voice of, I want to say, the target audience of what this game is. This Rogue Company is it can be slow paced and it can be fast paced at the same time. It's such a good, it walks that line so well. Where you could call it a tactical shooter. Sometimes it plays tactically. Sometimes it plays more like a hero shooter. It gets fast. It gets slow. There's a lot of variation in the gameplay for this game, but it walks that line of slow pace and fast pace so well due to the movement and the way that the gunplay works and a lot of the character abilities. Especially for a third-person game, you would think people would be more inclined to, sit back. Obviously, some characters are more geared towards that, and that's just kind of how you have to play them. But for the most part, a lot of people, the game flows. People actually get in gunfights. The maps are the perfect size. The lines of sight and the angles on the maps are really good. But Dr.Disrespect is essentially the voice of the target audience for this game. This seems like a game that's dead straight up his alley, a game that's dead straight up my alley. And a lot of the other people who are playing this game that are enjoying it's obviously up their alley because they're enjoying the game. So he is a great voice for a game like this. And for him to be able to put down a map layout, I'll put all this on the screen in a minute. But for him to be able to put down a map layout and have the developers look at it and seriously consider it and then come to the conclusion that they liked it, that's big. That makes me trust the developers even more than I already did. But Doc went to Twitter around the time that his stream started, I believe, and he basically said, I really like this game. You know, I want to say, like, he played it a little bit. He said he really likes it, and I thought he was really gonna love it. The game, it's right. It's his kind of game. It's right up his alley. So he took to Twitter. He said he really likes the game, and he wants to make a map. He wants to design a map. He wants them to look at it. His words. He wants to bring some speed, violence, and momentum to the game. They responded. They said, "Hey, we'll give you 24 hours. Come up with your best work. We'll look it over, and if we like it, we'll probably use it." Dr. Disrespect accepted the challenge. He came up with a map layout, which I'll also put on the screen in a minute. I looked it over, and it definitely seems very, very interesting. It is very, very geared towards close range combat and kind of not really sitting back. You kind of got to get up towards the middle of the map for the lines of sight to kind of open up more so that the fights can start to happen. It looks very, very interesting. I'm not sure how well it will do in like a demolition setting, but I know for Strike Force, it'll be really good. A lot of close quarters, fast-paced combat on this map. It'll be pretty cool. So as you can see, the tweet from Dr. Disrespect, "Hey at Rogue Company, I like this game. Let me design a map. I'll bring some violence, speed, and momentum with the design. Easy guarantee. Hashtag Rogue Partner." Rogue Company hits him back. "That's a big hell yeah, two-time. But you haven't designed a level since 1997. You think you can walk back and build an instant classic? How about this? You got 24 hours to prove you can design a map. Then we'll go from there. You in?" Dr. Disrespect responds with, "It's go time." So that is how that exchange went on. That is sick. I've never seen anything like this. Put in the comments if you've seen anything like this from a developer. I've never seen a developer just let a streamer design a map. Like, I've never seen it. I've never seen a developer so willing to let something like this go down. But I'm going to put the map on the screen. As you can see, the little red areas are landing areas. There's not a lot of super long lines of sight. Maybe there's really none, actually. Like, you're definitely gonna have to push up and really get in people's faces in order to really get things done on this map, and that's what you expect from Dr. Disrespect. So very, very, very interesting. I thought this was a very interesting topic to get into because I definitely feel like more developers should do things like this. I feel like streamers and content creators are some of the biggest voices and can relay the community's feedback kind of the best. Obviously, depending on who it is, there are some pretty toxic people in communities, but toxic communities make toxic figures within them. The Rogue Company community seems pretty laid back. I also believe that a lot of the times when communities get super hostile and especially competitive games, that's more due to the developers. They're not hostile for no reason. You mess up a lot and you make a lot of bad decisions, that gives people a reason to get very hostile. And these guys have been doing a really good job with development, with relaying ideas to the community, with everything, essentially taking data. A lot of things they say in their developer logs are spot on. People aren't really reviving each other as much as they should be. There's also 110% an issue with players leaving matches. I cannot tell you how many matches I get into. I go up 5-2, 4-2 in a demolition game, and then 2 of my teammates leave, and then I'm forced to let these guys go from 2 rounds all the way up to 7 while I'm at 5, basically prolonging the game, just making a horrible, horrible experience. You know, the game plays very well. 4v4, Strike Force and Demolition, it plays perfectly. But when you get players dropping out, you get players AFK, not playing, like it really messes with the way the game flows, and it kind of ruins it. The time to kill in this game is perfect. It's perfect for the amount of players that are in it, right? But when you're down a man, when you're down 2 men, it's very easy for you to get overrun because people don't die quite fast enough for you most of the time, unless you're using like Scorch or you're hitting a lot of headshots back to back, just tink 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 tink. People don't usually die quick enough for you to be able to fend off two people. It's going to be very, very difficult to fend off a full team of 4. There's also a lot of variables in that statement. I know, you know, there's things like Dima with his clusters. You know, you hit 2 or 3 people with a cluster grenade, they're obviously gonna drop pretty quick. But for the most part, it's gonna be very, very difficult for 2, 1, or even 3 players to fend off a full 4-man squad. If you start to if you take damage from behind, if you take damage from somewhere that you know, if you're in a gunfight in front of you and you take damage from behind, that's a sandwich. You're pretty much done at that point. There's really not much you're going to be able to do. So players leaving, they're remedying that with a surrender and a penalty for abandoning the match. There's really no excuse to abandon the match. You can reconnect if something you know, bad happens. If your internet goes out, your power goes out, you can reconnect. If you choose not to reconnect, that's on you. You're gonna have to deal with the penalty. So, but essentially, that's all I got for today. I'm very, very happy with this topic. I'm pretty much ecstatic. You know, that means that, you know, figures in the community for Rogue Company will have a say in what happens, and that's very reassuring. But that's pretty much all I got for today, guys. Peace out.